Stop and really listen to this. It's not just a passing thought, it's a loving warning. Don't go to that relative's house this June. It might look like a normal family gathering, with smiles and polite talk, but something there doesn't sit right with your spirit. The energy in that space will disturb your peace and make your heart feel heavy. You've come too far and worked too hard to risk falling back. This isn't to scare you, it's to protect you. That little feeling in your gut, the uneasy sense something's wrong, it's not just nerves. It's not drama. It's your inner voice warning you. You've felt it before, haven't you? That strange tension when you walk in, the way people change when your name or success is brought up, those small comments that sting more than they should. You told yourself it was in your head, that maybe you were overthinking it. But deep down, you know it was real. That house holds old emotions like jealousy and pride, things no one talks about but everyone carries. And your peace, your growth, your joy, it makes some people uncomfortable, not because you've done something wrong, but because you remind them of what they've buried inside. This isn't about hating anyone. It's about protecting yourself. People say family is everything and that you should always show up, but real love never asks you to lose yourself. Real love doesn't ask you to stay quiet when your spirit feels uneasy. You shouldn't feel guilty for listening to your heart. When angels speak, it's serious. This isn't fear, it's protection. You've come through hard times, where you were ignored, judged, even mocked. But you've healed. You've grown. You're softer in good ways, stronger where it counts. Don't let guilt or old patterns pull you into something you've outgrown. You don't need to explain your choice. A quiet no is enough. Not out of anger, but love for yourself. You're not shutting people out. You're building healthy boundaries. Heaven saw you smile through pain, stay quiet to keep peace, swallow your truth to avoid fights. But that version of you is done. You're not here to shrink anymore. You're being guided to move differently now. Choose calm, not chaos. Choose wisdom, not habits. Hear this clearly. Your time, energy, and presence are precious gifts. Not everyone deserves access to the healed you. Some invites seem simple but come at the cost of your peace. This one is like that. So take this as love, not rejection. Stay where your joy is safe, where your light isn't dimmed. You don't owe anyone access just because they're family. Some family events are emotional traps. That gut feeling isn't fake, it's a red flag. Don't ignore it. You felt the weight before, the odd vibe when you arrive, the passive-aggressive words, the energy that leaves you drained. You walk away feeling off, carrying emotions that don't belong to you. That's your soul being pulled where it doesn't belong. And here's the truth, you're not responsible for fixing their pain. You can care from afar. You're not rejecting them, you're protecting yourself. You don't need to play the same role in a family story that always left you feeling small. Some relatives aren't just people, they're lessons, and you've already passed the test. Don't go back. You can say no with love. If they don't understand, let them wonder. Your peace speaks for itself. You don't owe your mental health to anyone's idea of loyalty. That tight feeling in your chest when you think about going, it's not just stress. It's your spirit waving a flag. Don't brush it off. You've done the hard healing. You've sat with yourself in pain and came out brighter. You've broken old cycles. But visiting that place can knock all of that loose. You might not notice right away, but after, you'll feel that cloud, that heaviness, that ache of going against what you know is true. Because energy always speaks. You're more sensitive now, more aware of your surroundings. When you're near people carrying pain they haven't healed, you absorb it. You leave tired, confused, and empty. That's the cost of going. And it's too high. June is a turning point. The universe is saying don't look back. Don't go where your spirit doesn't belong. Don't test your strength just to prove you've healed. You don't need to walk into fire to prove you're fireproof. Just don't go near it. Say no. Guard your space. Trust your angels, they're leading you to better. You're not heartless, you're honest. Let them call it distance or coldness, that says more about them. You're no longer their mirror. You are your own peace now. You've become your own safe place. Don't go back to the people who made your joy feel like too much, your kindness like a weakness, your growth like a threat. If your new story doesn't fit their old one, let it go. Your angels are proud of your strength. That visit may seem harmless, but it risks undoing your progress. The new chapter ahead needs your full focus, your body, mind, and spirit. And for that, you must stop saying yes when your soul means no. Don't carry guilt, carry peace. Let them talk. Let them wonder. You're free now. You've survived what was meant to break you. You've walked into rooms where your spirit was ignored and your voice silenced. But not anymore. You're not the one who puts everyone else first while forgetting yourself. You've learned to listen to your soul, not just what people say. And your spirit is telling you, don't go back to that old version of yourself just to make others comfortable. Because real comfort never asks you to betray yourself. You can care and still say no. You can respect the past and still guard the present. Saying no isn't rejecting anyone, it's choosing yourself. Choosing peace that doesn't need to be earned or explained. You now notice the signs early, the tightness, the tiredness, the emotional fog. That's your spirit speaking. And now you're finally in a place where you can hear it. Don't ignore it. You earned this clarity with pain, tears, and deep lessons. You wondered why you weren't enough for people who should have loved you better. But it wasn't you, it was them. Their wounds. Their refusal to grow. You're not here to hold up one-sided connections. You're not the strong one at your own expense anymore. That season is over. Now is the time to protect who you've become, the version of you who no longer begs for approval, who found power in silence. You now know silence isn't weakness, it's wisdom. And saying no doesn't close doors forever, it just means not today, not while your soul still needs rest. Maybe someday the energy will shift. Maybe they'll grow too. Maybe that space will feel safe again. But right now, it doesn't. And you're not asked to hope for the best while walking into something that already feels wrong. Spirit is saying honor how you feel now. Protect your peace now. Don't give away what you've built just to be accepted by people who only remember who you used to be. You don't owe them the new you, the healed you. Let that be clear. This isn't bitterness, it's clarity. You're choosing what aligns. You're finally learning that your energy should not be poured into places that drain it. You weren't born to survive emotionally, you were born to thrive. To feel whole. To walk in joy without guilt. Anyone, anything, or any place that pulls you away from that doesn't belong near you right now. It's okay to walk away. It's okay to choose space. It's okay to be misunderstood. You've already tried. You've explained. You've waited. But it still hurt. You don't need to try again. Not when your soul is begging for peace. Treat your spirit as sacred, because it is. Guard your space like it's holy, because it is. You're not selfish for staying home. You're wise. You're guided. You're clear on what your future needs. And that may mean walking away from what's familiar but now feels heavy. You're not running, you're growing. You're not avoiding, you're choosing better. Let others think what they want. You've learned that peace doesn't shout. It doesn't beg to be seen. Peace just is. And now it lives in you. And this June, it deserves to be protected no matter what. And this June, it deserves to be protected no matter what. You've done too much work, cried too many tears, and sat with yourself through too many storms to go back now. You've rebuilt your life piece by piece, brick by brick, often in silence, without applause, without anyone seeing how much it took out of you. But you did it anyway. You showed up for yourself when no one else could. You stayed when it got uncomfortable. You healed when it hurt. That's sacred. That matters. And because of that, not everyone can walk with you now, not because you're better, but because you're different. You're clearer. You're not willing to settle for spaces where your soul is muted. You don't want to be around people who only clap for your pain, not your progress. You don't want to sit in circles where love feels conditional, where your voice feels like a threat, where your joy is seen as bragging, and your healing is mistaken for arrogance. You're past that now. You're not bitter, you're just no longer blind. You see things as they are, not as you wish they could be. And that kind of clarity changes everything. Sometimes clarity doesn't come as a loud voice. Sometimes it's just a feeling that says, "Don't go." A whisper that says, not this time. And even if you can't fully explain why, you don't need to. You don't owe anyone an explanation for protecting your peace. The truth is, some people only knew you in survival mode. They only accepted you when you were quieter, smaller, more unsure of yourself. Now that you've grown into your light, they don't know what to do with you. They don't know how to handle your confidence, your calm, your clarity. But that's not your problem to solve. You're not here to make other people comfortable with your transformation. You're here to be real, to be free, to be whole. And sometimes being whole means walking away from what's familiar. It means choosing solitude over noise, stillness over chaos. It means not forcing connections that don't feel safe anymore. You've tried. You've shown up when you didn't want to. You've kept the peace by sacrificing your truth. You've made excuses for behavior that hurt you. You've told yourself to just get through it. But now, you've come to a point where your soul is asking for more. More honesty. More respect. More care. And you're finally in a place where you can give it to yourself. You're finally in a place where self-abandonment is no longer an option. Let this June be the moment you say, I choose me. I choose my well-being. I choose to not put myself in rooms that feel cold when I walk in. I choose to not be the one always over-explaining my heart. I choose to no longer be the one who bends, folds, and shrinks to fit into other people's comfort zones. You've outgrown that. You're no longer trying to be loved by people who don't know how to love deeply. You're no longer trying to be understood by people who don't want to hear the truth. And if that means being distant, so be it. If that means fewer invites, let it happen. If that means sitting with discomfort while others misunderstand your reasons, let them. Your peace is not a group project. Your healing is not a performance. It's a promise you made to yourself, to never go back to what broke you, even if it's wrapped in smiles and Sunday dinners. Let this season be the one where you stop explaining yourself to those who aren't ready to listen. Let this season be the one where you stop sacrificing your softness to be accepted. Let this season be the one where you understand that sometimes, staying away is love. That love doesn't always look like presence. Sometimes love looks like distance, boundaries, and silence. And sometimes the most loving thing you can do, for yourself and others, is to walk away before the room starts stealing your peace again. Because you know how it ends. You know how it feels to walk in with hope and leave with heaviness. You've done it too many times. You've gone home tired, not from talking, but from pretending. Tired from smiling while your spirit cried for rest. Tired from trying to belong in a place that never welcomed all of you. And now you know better. This June is about trust. Trusting that your inner voice is wiser than your people-pleasing habits. Trusting that walking away doesn't make you selfish, it makes you strong. Trusting that you don't need to show up just to prove you're okay. You're already okay. You don't need validation. You need peace. And peace is quiet. It doesn't chase people. It doesn't beg for space. It just exists where it's protected. You've become a guardian of that peace. You've learned how to hear your spirit over the noise. You've learned how to tell the difference between love and obligation. And now it's time to act on that wisdom. Now it's time to live it. You're not rejecting your family, you're just choosing yourself. You're not cutting people off, you're just cutting off access to parts of you that were never appreciated. You're not closing the door forever, you're just keeping it closed for now, until the energy shifts, until the space feels different, until your spirit says, it's safe. Until then, let the door stay shut. Let the phone stay silent. Let your presence be a gift that is earned, not assumed. You are no longer available for environments that feel like emotional traps. You are no longer available for conversations that leave you doubting yourself. You are no longer available for gatherings that pretend to be love but are really just performances. And if you needed permission to say no, here it is. If you needed confirmation that your discomfort isn't fake, here it is. If you needed a sign that your spirit knows what it's doing, this is it. You're not imagining things. You're not overreacting. You're finally paying attention. You're finally honoring your intuition. And that is the beginning of real freedom. That is the beginning of a new story, one where you don't show up out of guilt, but out of love. One where your yes means yes, and your no means no. One where you don't keep the peace at the cost of your own. One where you get to feel light again. Don't go back just to be polite. Don't go back just to avoid questions. Don't go back because they expect you to. Expectations are not obligations. Obligation is not love. You are allowed to step away. You are allowed to grow apart. You are allowed to change. Even if they don't like it. Even if they talk. Even if they try to guilt you. You are allowed to protect yourself, fully and unapologetically. And when that day comes, the day of the gathering, don't second-guess your decision. Don't replay the old guilt tapes in your mind. Stand firm. Take a breath. Stay home. Light a candle. Do something kind for yourself. Remind yourself, this is love. This is what choosing peace looks like. This is what choosing me looks like. And as you do, you'll notice something. That weight that used to sit in your chest when you said yes, it's not there. That heaviness you carried for days after the visit, it never arrives. That emotional fog, it doesn't come. You'll feel lighter. Clearer. Free. That's your reward. That's the power of listening to your spirit. And that's what this June is all about, choosing light, choosing truth, choosing the version of you that no longer lives in fear. The version of you that knows you are worthy of spaces that feel soft, of people who speak life into you, of energy that fills instead of drains. You've earned that. You've become that. And now you get to protect that. So this is your moment. Your line in the sand. You're wholly no. Not because you're bitter, but because you're finally brave enough to not betray yourself. Not anymore. Not this time.